Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Epic Speed Driver from Callaway.
Hello, I'm Cara Banks with this Golf Central update as we take a moment to check in with what took place on moving day at the Wells Fargo Championship. Rory McIlroy is the only two-time winner of this event, and he followed up a second round 66 yesterday with a 68 today to now sit 2 off of the lead held by Keith Mitchell. Let's get the Northern Irishman's thoughts as he looks for a third victory at Quail Hollow Club.
Before we get into today's round, I'm going to go back to yesterday. How, maybe not relieved is the right word, but how good did it feel to have posted that score when the weather was getting bad and then you were sitting back in your house or hotel room watching the scores come in?
Yeah, I mean, I felt really good about myself after, playing well, making the weekend, and then I knew that the wind was going to obviously come in yesterday afternoon and make the scores even tougher. So, I moved up the leaderboard by not doing much yesterday afternoon. So, and it was, it was tough again today. It was gusty. You had to control your ball flight really well, and I did that well for the most part for 17 holes. One blip there on 12, but yeah. it was another really good round of golf.
When you got going on that front nine, was it tricky almost to keep yourself level and present and not get too ahead of yourself? Yeah,
especially around here where I know when I've got it going before that pretty cool things have happened. But yeah, when I held that putt on the 8th hole, walking to the 9th tee, I was like, I hadn't heard a noise like that on a golf course for a long time. So it's cool. I'm excited to play in front of that atmosphere again tomorrow. And this is what I've been waiting for, playing in front of fans again and getting off to good starts, getting momentum, going with it. It was really fun out there.
After the little blip on 12T, was it tricky, or what did you say to yourself to not get spooked by that almost and just carry on?
I knew I had 14 and 15 to try to make those couple shots back. Didn't quite do it on 14, but made a good birdie on 15. And then the last stretch was playing sort of tough. I had a good chance on 17. I just misread the putt a little bit, but I was trying to get back to 8 under par where I was on the 12th tee. I didn't quite get there. I won short, but I sort of limited the damage from there and played a solid few holes on the way in.
You mentioned it just a moment ago with having the crowds back here, obviously on this golf course that you love. How excited are you to be in this position going into a Sunday again? Yeah, I am.
I'd be excited if there was no one here because I haven't been in this position for a while. So, but to be able to play maybe in a final group, depending on what happens with Gary on the way in here, in front of fans and an atmosphere like that, it's I've missed it. I really have, and I'm excited for that.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck. Thanks, Rory.
Thank you.
Well, Gary Woodland would end up finishing on the same number as Rory McIlroy, 7 under par. Both of them 2 back of your 54-hole leader, Keith Mitchell, 9 under par, a 2-stroke advantage, and he will go out in the final pairing with Rory McIlroy tomorrow. He, too, spoke to Henny Koyak after his round.
Keith, nice bogey for your round today. 5 birdies today, 8 birdies in the first round as well. What is it that you love so much about this golf course?
It's always in perfect shape. The greens are always true, and then I really like the way it looks to my eye off the tee. And so I've been hitting my driver well. It's given me some opportunities to not necessarily attack the flag, just put it in the right spot to have a birdie putt. And I've done pretty well taking advantage of the par 5s. So you really just got to do that out here because there's some holes that just almost aren't birdieable and some that are. So you kind of have to pick and choose your battles out there.
A huge difference from Sunday at Valspar that looked like a little bit of a struggle for you. What's been the change since that Sunday and coming here this week?
Really nothing. I just fixed my putter. It was a little bent, and learned that when I got here this week. So glad that it wasn't necessarily my fault.
Yeah.
I can't say or deny that I bent my putter, but...
Okay, that was going to be my question. Yeah. How did it get bent?
I don't know.
Okay.
I would like to say it wasn't me, but I do remember getting upset a couple of times on Saturday, but you never know. So, but it's fixed now and it's working.
Yeah, glad you got that fixed.
Yeah.
What would a win mean for you? Last one was 2019, your first PGA Tour win. What would it mean to you, and also around this golf course especially?
Well, this has always been one of my favorite tournaments of the year. It really feels like a major championship out here, just the way the golf course is set up and the feel and everything. And I've always said it's one of my favorite tournaments. So doing it here would definitely be special.
Brilliant. Well, we hope to see you lift that trophy tomorrow.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Okay, well, one of the biggest stories of the day actually surrounded Bryson DeChambeau, who posted this after being in the gym in Dallas, Texas, which he calls home. Headed back to Dallas to get a quick workout in. See you tomorrow, Charlotte. Yeah, what actually happened is he was about tied 78th when he decided to head home Friday afternoon, thinking he would miss the cut. It was looming kind of obviously top 65 and ties, but when he landed in Dallas, he'd moved all the way up to 64th. So, all right, let's turn around, go back. He did, and actually put together a pretty good round of 68 today. Here's what he had to say to Henny after.
It's been an eventful 24 hours here for Bryson DeChambeau at Wells Fargo. Bryson, give us a bit of a timeline about what happened from yesterday on about your 7th hole until now.
Yeah, I made the unfortunate mistake of making triple on 7, hit a couple balls in the water, and tried to make birdie to finish off at 1 over and hopefully have a chance. I didn't do that on number 9, and I was 90th at the time and thought I'd missed the cut. And we all decided let's go home. And so Tim got on a flight, my caddy on a flight, and I went on my flight, and both went our separate ways. And halfway through the flight, my agent texted me, "Hey, you're in 68th place now." And we were like, "What? How is that even possible?" And like the wind's picking up. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, okay, I can't turn back now." And so we were halfway through the flight, we didn't have enough fuel to go back, and so we just landed in Dallas, and we looked at the leaderboard, and I made the cut. Said, well, it looks like we're turning around. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a crew till the morning, and I was fortunate enough to leave at 2:45 a.m. I went to bed at 8, but before that, I had a couple hours to spare, so I said, you know what, might as well go home and work out and go to sleep in my own bed. So I did that, had a nice little dinner, had a good rest in my bed, and then got on a flight at 2:45 and was here at 6:20, and then drove 30 minutes to here and ate a small little breakfast and got out to the putting green at 7:10. For my 8:10 tee time.
And I mean, it almost worked well in terms of preparation, because today, aside from the last hole, was a great round of golf.
Thank you.
How are you feeling now in terms of your energy levels, and how would you analyze your round?
On a scale of 1 to 10 for energy levels, I'm probably about like a 1.5 right now. I'm not the brightest in the world, I guess you could say, but for the most part, I'm excited where I was able to take advantage of some of the holes today, like I hadn't in the past couple days, and didn't make too many big mistakes, except on 18 I really didn't play that bad of a hole. I hit it exactly where I wanted to, and then I caught a flyer out of the rough, and I got plugged in the back lip of the bunker. Besides that, I got up and down pretty much on every hole, and rarely missed a putt, so I was pleased with my game today.
Well, you did a great job. It was a quick turnaround. Thanks. It all worked out well. Yeah. Go get some sleep and have some rest.
Thank you, will do.
Thanks, Bryson.
Appreciate it.
What a turnaround. I mean, unbelievable given how little sleep he had, really. That is what took place on 18. You heard Henny mention it. The double bogey 6 at the closing hole. Otherwise, would have been an even better round. Nevertheless, Bryson DeChambeau has played his way under par, and he will begin the final round 8 off of the lead. We will also have a final round of a major championship tomorrow on the PGA Tour Champions. The region's tradition is back. It's good to see the guys in action. Steve Stricker carries a 1-stroke lead into their final round over Alex Chaker, but plenty of other players loom. Jerry Kelly, Dickie Pride, Robert Carlson, Bernhard Langer, Darren Clark. They've been storylines all week long, so we're looking forward to watching that tomorrow, and also the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship from Quail Hollow Club. So much more to look forward to, as on the PGA Tour, Rory McIlroy goes for victory number 3 at Quail Hollow.